Do you have one of those days where you're recording some epic metal, you're about to mix it, but then you realize you have to record bass?
There's got to be a better way!
Well, you're in luck! Because now you can use a metal bass VST called Loki Bass. Loki Bass is a VST instrument by Solemn Tones. Solemn or Solemn? I should probably do some research before these. This VST is recorded with a Dingwall NG2 bass, which means this is a 5-string bass VST that goes all the way down to double drop C. The VST has over 3,000 recorded samples, which is probably very impressive, I guess. The VST is not just a long sustaining note. They can also do palm mutes, ghost notes, alternate between strumming up and down, and so much more, both with fingering and picks. I should probably not say fingering. But first, let's look at the interface. First, you got your options for bass playstyle. There's Maxime's Bass, which is the plugin with the amp sim on it. So you can just plunk it down and get an easy demo going. Then you got Raw DI, which is the bass with no amp sim. There's Fingered, which means the bass sounds less clanky and more smooth. And then there's Disabled, which just leaves it blank. Nice. Now let's look at the knobs. There are 3 knobs for both bass, middle, and treble. These knobs adjust the EQ of the bass, allowing you to adjust the sound before mixing. Then you have these 4 buttons. I'm so excited about buttons. Crank ignores the MIDI velocity in your project and sets all the notes to the hardest hit. So if you don't care about dynamics, this is for you. Raw is a little interesting. It leaves in imperfections in the bass sound, like string noises and such, which makes the bass sound more human. Enforce adds a sine wave to the plugin, so when you play a note, it will play an extra low note that adds more to the lower end of the bass. So you can give Loki some thicker balls. Ladies. Then there's the key switch, which just shows you where you can switch your playstyle on the MIDI grid. I'll talk about that later. Then there's this Humanizer Wheel, which randomizes the hit string so you get more variety when the VST is playing. So on Max, it plays like how I play bass.
I'm human!
But now, let's talk about how it sounds. In short, it sounds amazing. I've been using this for the most of my songs just for a quick and tight bass sound. The samples recorded for this VST blows out every electric bass in the East-West library. Especially you 5-string Fender piece of crap! So if you need a great VST bass sound for your low-tuned girly grind gent band, then I highly recommend it. But also for anyone that just wants a decent bass VST in general. I only have 2 major complaints about this VST. The first one, I'm not happy with this key switch thing. As someone who prefers writing MIDI with my mouse, it gets tedious just to find the right notes in the MIDI just to make it switch between palm mutes and downplaying. I guess I just have to get a MIDI controller and record it live, but that takes effort, so meh. I mean, I can at least try. I have to plug it in. Hold on. I couldn't find the cable, so My other complaint is that the load times can take forever. As someone who likes to switch from song to song, it can get tedious to wait for the VST to load. I've noticed that the Loki Bass is the only one that takes the longest to load compared to the rest of my plugins.
Boss is so hard!
The plugin is still loading.
Oh yeah. But you know what? These minor problems don't bother me that much. The quality of the VST sound is so good I can already look past it. I give this plugin a Hollywood adaptation of a Norse god out of the real thing. I'm Andri and goodbye, you nerds! To Valhalla! Oh, fuck.